Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om. Adorations to Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast like the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Yoga Vasistha, Upsham Prakarana, Purvardha, Section 5. Sri Rama speaks of his own experiences. That's the storyline. Simple point is, the experiences that await every aspirant on the spiritual path. And who could be more authentic than one who is incarnation of God, Rama? If anybody else tells you, may be doubtful. But Rama is describing his own experience. He's opening his heart to all aspirants. During autumn, the morning mist dissolves and the forests recover their natural beauty. All this allegorical, poetic language. Prior to enlightenment, mist never dissolved, and souls continue to experience terrible chill. Instead of facing forests with wonderful foliage and blossoms, Sheetal Manda Sugandha, that type of atmosphere. Instead of facing that, they are facing terrible forest. Smokes, fire, wild animals, violent animals. It's all allegorical. In the same manner, with the removal of a mist of mental impurities, my vision has become limitless and expansive. To the enlightened mind, you are looking at the world with a jnana drishti. It's not a miracle. Your own vision is revealing, is never moving away from the truth. That Brahman is the underlying, the reality behind all names and forms. And names and forms are projections. They are not realities. Compared to the delight I enjoy as I receive your nectarine wisdom, even the taste of celestial nectar seems insipid to me. This is the Vasistha teachings versus Indra's teachings. Vasistha's teachings are teaching for attaining enlightenment. Indra's teaching, I'm using it in a humorous way. Indra stands for inspiring souls to follow the path leading to heaven. But heaven that does not stop the cycle of birth and death. It simply provides immense pleasure. This point I have discussed before. So, If you sit in satsanga where Indra is the guru, you will be listening to different things. But that type, Rama says, he has lost the ear for Indra's talks. Compared to the delight I enjoy as I receive your nectar in wisdom, both talk about nectar. Indra will tell how it was arranged, the nectar was churned, and they have all the gods have sipped nectar. But that, try to understand, even in the storyline, the immortality of gods is a relative statement. Because even Brahma is viewed as mortal. Even he ends, and next Brahma comes. So if you can understand that, how can Indra and other gods continue in the same personality? So that statement of immortality has to be understood. One is immortality based on an unenlightened mind. Unenlightened mind wants to secure a happy and pleasurable condition in the world, no matter how miserable you are. If you are a rabbit, you are in a miserable situation. But ask the rabbit, what do you want? Rabbit says, I will live. Give me boon. May I live for 1,000 years. I'm trying to give you some humorous way to understand. The Rama says that all that talk of immortality based on bhoga, Indra's type of inspiration. If Indraloka or Swargaloka is your goal, and all the talks given to encourage you to be in Swargaloka, to have intense pleasure, all those talks fill the human mind with great joy. But to me, it's useless. Having heard your nectarine words, all those palabras have become useless. And it's a simple description of your ears are for two directional listening. Listening about the world, worldly setup, worldly enjoyment. And that engrosses one's life. If you don't have a spiritual aspiration, then all that you live from the beginning to end, focused on what the news is coming, the newscast. And very practical way, but we are constantly focused upon so many things about the world. Think of any family, what engrosses their mind day by day. How can my children stay safe? When will that neighbor stop shouting in the night? And so forth. But where satsanga with a qualified personality opens the channel for attaining liberation, moksha, which is attaining revelation of who am I, aham brahmasmi. Compared to that type of listening, which is presenting eternal bliss, to the bhoga type of listening, which is presenting deluded happiness, and even that not forever. Today I abide in my essential nature. I experience the limitless bliss of the self. The simple focus is inquiry into who am I. You inquire about everything in the world, from morning till night. But the most interesting thing, find your identity card. I'm joking. Find your identity. Who am I? And somehow human mind doesn't turn to that. It requires some patting, promoting spiritual qualifications. But once the qualifications begin to develop, there can be nothing more interesting than focusing your mind in realizing, in discovering all about yourself, the mystery about your consciousness. And it ends up with ego being sublimated. In a witty words, I can say, this is your ideal, the deal for the I. The entire life is a deal for the I. Discover the I, real I. And let this false I move away. And that's the deal. You have made the deal, you are living an ideal life. From the mayhem, come to aham. Today I abide in the essential nature. I experience the limitless bliss of the self. I have become the very refuge of all objects and beings, all worlds and their inhabitants. Simple point that we go on trying to discuss again and again. Your ego I am is limited to the world of time, space, causation. It has been trapped by the spider in a website. That ego I am is living on the world experience through the projections of your mind. That ego I am is not your reality. That ego I am is always imperfect. Its desires are never fulfilled. Its craving never extinguished. The eternal I am, the real I am, is like the sun. Ego I am is like a reflected sun. If you are a reflected sun, you are extremely limited, just to a pot. If you are the sun, all pots, all things of this world are illumined by this. So see yourself in two stages, just being an ego jumping up and down in a bucket. Being the I am, illumining all in a spontaneous way. The sun does not have any worry about which pot have I illumined and which I have not. Sun simply shines. It doesn't have any idea of who is going to be illumined. Try to understand simple points. I, as ego I am, mind deals with such helplessness. No matter how intelligent you are, you always deal with the things that are slipping away from your hands, how to catch them, how to secure your happiness. And happiness is hopping away all the time. A lot of worries and anxieties in the mind. But when you have discovered the real I am, all this troubles of your mind simply vanish along with the mind itself. So, allow the mind to entertain this idea from you who seem so limited, confined to time, space. You are boundless. The entire world is sustained by you. All the universe, countless world systems, and all those who dwell in all these world systems, who is? I am. I am all this, one simple statement. I am indeed Rama. He didn't know the meaning of his name, but now he discovers it. The delighter in every heart. That's the simple meaning of Rama word. One who delights, one who is the delighter in every heart. Without Rama, there will be no joy. And let me give you a witty. Without Rama, there will be no romance. Romance is Rama's urge. A ray of Rama gets into the mind's moha aspect of love. But even in that love, your deep urge is coming from the source Rama. And it is only by realizing Rama, your all illusions will be broken. And perfect fulfillment will be attained. So, I am indeed Rama, the delighter in every heart. Adorations to you, O sage, who have shown me my essential identity. All my doubts have been dispersed, much as a child's fears that arise during the hours of darkness are dispersed upon the rising of the sun. Simple figurative language. A child during the night, terrorized by dark shadows. Now the same child, the moment the sun begins to rise, becomes thrilled because all those dark shadows that terrified, they have run away. My mind is no longer vexed with such questions as whence did ignorance arise? How did this self-effulgent Atman become a prey to ignorance? Follow very simple illustration. Once dark forces that were terrifying you have gone away with the rising sun. Your mind is never vexed with the idea, where have they gone and where they are hiding. Darkness gives you a lot of pain. But it goes away, you don't hold any animosity against it. Let me find where it is. Because it doesn't exist. How can the associationless self become associated with the world process? That's revelation, realization. The world process, all that you are experiencing through your conditioned mind, having lost your real identity. How did modifications arise in the immutable self? All modifications that to human mind seem like real. You look at the sky, it looks blue. It's not one person's opinion, it's a complete vote. Unanimous. And yet, it is false. So, the experience of modifications is based on ignorance. When ignorance is removed, no modifications. You are not living in a world of multiplicity. The sky cannot be broken into pieces. Similarly, you cannot be broken into individual entities. You are always the absolute self. Now I laugh at my past folly. I who have been the Atman all the time, how could I have duped myself into believing that I was an incarnating soul wandering through the forest of the world process? Now, if you don't attain enlightenment, then you carry the memories of all your troubles. And those memories are kept more safe, the real safe within you, a treasury store, than your positive attainment. But when you attain enlightenment, all those memories simply become deleted, vanish. There is not a slightest notion in your mind to go backward. What happened to my all painful problems? And that's subtle point behind your spiritual success. Because all the perfection that is we are pointing out is attained through a progressive movement. So if you hold on to troubles that you experienced in the past, and every person you met in the past who caused some trouble to you, and you are more of a modern type, you have recorded them. You can open your iPad and can show to people. But all that vanishes as if you had not been given any trouble at all. To attain enlightenment, you do not have the mind, oh, why didn't I attain it before? And go on remembering all the troubles. So that will not happen because revelation of who am I, your I was never in trouble. How could I have allowed myself to be fettered by the ropes of cravings that do not even exist? Think of your dream. So many things happen in your dream. Wake up. You may carry the memory of your dream, but your mind does not go into a big anxiety. Why did I did certain thing in my dream in the particular way? Why didn't I choose something better? Why did I got into the dirty water to take plunge when there was a beautiful lake nearby? Swans were swimming. I'm talking about the dream. We woke up and now we are worried, rather struggling in your mind. How stupid I may have been. I should have gone into that lake. Oh God, give me the dream again. I have crossed the ocean of the world process, having bathed in the nectarine stream of wisdom that flows through your lips. Talking to sage Vasistha. I have become free from the enchantment of Maya. I have discovered my essential nature. I have become all that exists. That's the nature of liberation. All that we have been so concerned with. From the smallest creature to the mightiest. All is Brahman. Seems like a big thing to understand. But the sample is your own dream. Right on your own bed. While you are experiencing dream, you had no idea of the bed and all that. You were in a big world. In that world, you are just a poor creature, didn't know all that. Facing challenges, facing situations positive and negative, adversity, prosperity, enemies, friends, and terrible things. If someone were to teach you, calm your mind, be good to them, seems. But if someone would say, don't you know, the person whom you are hating, you are the one. While in dream, that type of a message will be most irritating, most inimical message. But from waking point of view, when you wake up, all that didn't exist. And if anybody will, if all your own mind realizes, if you are thinking, that even the dirtiest worm in that dream, you were. Because nobody else had gone there with you. Though apparently abiding in the limited world, in this limited world, I have arrived at the highest world of Brahman, wherein even the sun and moon become insignificant. How great is the identity I am. All these are illustrations that to the human mind, sun, moon, sky, the vastness, the millions of stars, all these are far greater than your little personality. But through the enlightened vision, where you understand all this is I am, then from the point of view of that experience of I am, all these big things of this world become not only little, but they don't even exist. I have crossed the ocean of the world process and have discovered the boundless glory of my very self. I therefore offer my adorations to my own self. Seated near the Guru, you will say, your teachings have enlightened me. Now I am offering adorations to my very self. Guru is not insulted. Guru is highly pleased, because that's the Guru's message. O venerable sage, now I abide in the Absolute, which is the mass of bliss. Sorrow and misery have fled from me forever. My lotus-like heart resonates with the sweet sound of your teachings. Shuddhosi, buddhosi, mano buddhi ahamkar chittani naham. I'm neither the mind, nor the intellect, nor the ego. I am Soham, Shivoham, Satchidananda Swarupoham. I'm verbalizing it. All this wisdom is like a swarm of humming bees, and he is lost in the swarm of bees. Let me just give you one quotation from the Taittiriya Upanishad regarding this experience of self-realization. Bhrigu was a great spiritual aspirant who receives from the Guru wisdom, and under his guidance he comes to a state of realization. When he attained realization, he says, Ha-woo, ha-woo, ha-woo. How will you call it in English? In Hindi they will call it aho, aho. Expression of great wonder. Wow, wow. And let me give you a humorous point about it. How have you been led to this suffering? The answer to how is how. How, how. Ahamannam, ahamannam. All the material is myself. Ahamannadam, ahamannadam, I am the enjoyer. I am the eater of all the material things. I am the enjoyer. Aham shlokakrit. I am the one composing all the verses of the Vedas. And it goes on. Suvarna Jyoti. I am like the sun, light of lights. So that type of statement expresses how Bhrigu expresses his experience. Likewise, Rama expresses his experience. Section 6, the negation of the body idea. Now, sage Vasistha, very pleased with Rama, and now he continues. O Rama, continue to listen to more of these teachings so that you will be established in the supreme realization of the self. And everyone else in the audience will be benefited as well. The subtle point is the role of satsanga that's being brought into this episode. Not only Rama listened and attained enlightenment, but all those who didn't attain enlightenment, they are all enriched, benefited in a profound way. Because all people are not in the same level of spiritual evolution. However, no matter which level you are, any satsanga teaching inspires you in a profound way and makes changes in your personality in a way that you don't yourself understand it. Things radiating from the truth, even if you have kept your ears little restricted with the idea I don't like to hear those things, but then your mind catches what you don't like to hear. And you can't let it go. Satsanga virus enters. And this is the most gracious virus. It's Karuna virus of God. So wherever satsanga is held, it benefits everyone. And everyone becomes like a bearer of torch. Since even those who lack subtlety of intellect are liberated from the world process as a result of constant listening to these teachings, how much more so will they intensify your realization of the self? these teachings, Vasistha says, can benefit those, do benefit those who are in lesser grades. Now, naturally, how much those teachings have benefited you? In other words, you have been benefited in a dynamic way. O Rama, the senses of the ignorant, those who hold the body as the self, senses in them turn out to be their constant enemies. If you are stuck to body idea, I am the body, senses play a great part. You are like a chariot driven by horses. And of course, horses are not educated, you see. They will run wherever they can find pleasure. Eat, drink, be merry. So, even being horses would have been better. But being dragged by horses, that's the role the senses play. And as a result of their folly, they are conquered by their own senses. The ignorant people are driven by their senses to a state of absolute degradation. But the senses of the wise sage, who is established in the self, become fully satisfied and act as friends. But the very same senses, when you are listening to these teachings, you are sensible to understand that you are listening. Your ears are being utilized. Your eyes are working. Senses are always operating. But the very same senses, when they are operating in harmony with the higher self, they play elegant roles. They are friends, and you are indebted to them because they channelize inspiring messages for your brain. Instead of destroying and obstructing the mystic movement, they, the senses, guard the knowledge of the sage at all times. How do the senses guard your teachings? You listen to the teaching, keep your mind positive, turn Godwards, see the glory of God. Now, even when you are not in exact satsanga session, what you have listened to is enabling you to bring inspiring experience when you are facing the world. Now the same sense, sit yourself in a forest. Same senses now are conveying to you, the birds are singing. The senses are now conveying to you that it's God behind that bird. It's God's source is God behind every leaf that is shining, behind the blossoms. In other words, the same backed up by spiritual teaching, the world begins to become a basis of satsanga. Instead of destroying and obstructing the mystic movement, they guard the knowledge. See, the same entertainments that could have destroyed your wisdom or your good understanding, led by satsanga, you are guarded. Not only guarded, you utilize what seems to be a challenging situation. Instead of challenging situation brings defeat, it brings awakens your heroic virtue. Though performing his various duties in daily life, a sage is ever aware of the emptiness of the pleasures of the senses. Simple point to understand behind all this statement, that sage is ever detached. Like the sky. The sky entertains all those clouds of indifferent shapes, but the sky remains untouched by them. When you have gained that intrinsic revelation that nothing in the world can touch me, because nothing in the world is other than myself, you cannot be afraid of your own self. And there is nothing else there. There is no other self. Non-duality. Absolutely alone. If you are hearing this with a limited mind, you will sink into big gloom. That you are locked down forever. But if you listen with clear listening, in right setup, it is the profoundest, thrilling experience. Ha, ha, ha. I am the sun, I am the moon, I am the ocean, I am these elements. I am all that is. But that type of awareness is not for shouting. Sun doesn't shout. I am the one behind the rainbow. I am the one behind that illumination. Shouting is being done to bring it a message. His intellect does not become involved in the objects of the world, implying he does not go after the illusion of me and mine. That object is his, when will it become mine? That type of attitude, nama, neither me nor mine. Practical reality continues with his personality, but at his heart level, he is not storing anything in his heart level. This practical reality is maintained by the sky. Clouds come, go, play their roles. But the sky at its heart level holds nothing. So if things come in your life and go away, a sage is as clear as ever. That's what's explained. Prasannatam yanagata abhishekata. Rama becomes the example. Coronation ceremony was to be given to him, and all the news came, good news, and he remains untouched. And then comes the bad news, apparently, banished into the forest, and it made no difference to him. That is the ideal that every soul has to work for. And it is your essential nature. So once you begin to follow the spiritual movement, outfoxes you. In other words, you don't have to use too much of your wit. Spiritual movement takes over your whole movement. When you do any work and you begin to enjoy it, the enjoyment part takes over in such a way that you accomplish lots of things and without your being upset about. Just giving ordinary similes. And with this I will conclude today. Om Ram 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 Ram. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om. Prayer for shower of Karunamaya Ras for over all. And may every soul, everyone be equipped with devotion to God, blessed with Shakti, Bhakti and Mukti, spiritual strength, devotion and liberation. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukuma Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashchid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat.